What does it look like to love a community rather than to leave it?
She saved my life.
The people here, they care.
Someone cared enough to help them get better.
My hope for Milwaukee is that we come together as one.
Milwaukee, I love you.
Welcome to Positively Milwaukee. She's a Milwaukee native and a talented artist. And now Alyssa Borkowski's work is being featured by a brand with a lot of Milwaukee history. Sarah McGrew talked to her about what impresses her.
It's hard to miss this billboard along National Avenue. But Alyssa Borkowski would argue the art looks better on the can.
My mom was the one that shared it with me. She very much wanted me to do it, so I did.
She's one of 10 winners who have their art featured on a PBR can.
I'm like, this can't be real. I was just doing this as a joke, but it wasn't.
Josh Feingold with PBR says it's a beer for creatives.
People have been sending art into the PBR offices for years. It hangs on our wall, it's unsolicited, and it's awesome. And that was really the birth of the art program, was trying to give back.
The top 25 artists were selected by past winners of the contest. Josh says the public voted for the 10 winners.
We at PBR, we're not determining what great art is. We want the artists, the art community, and the local communities to determine what it is.
And this art definitely generates a laugh.
Oh, good. It's a cat in the toilet, how can you not? Well, my art's definitely more playful, and you could say on the kiddish side. Like, I love Goodnight Moon. That's one of my favorite books growing up, so I definitely have inspiration from there.
A chance like this is a great opportunity for Alyssa, and she has plenty of ideas left in the barrel.
I'm working on a film right now, so that's another big project I gotta finish. But yeah, just kind of doing the same thing, and maybe more stuff along the way will come along.
Alyssa says she works in the vaporwave style. Now that's a very colorful and reminiscent style of the early 2000s. And leaders with PBR were pleased to have a Milwaukee native as a winner. Obviously, that beer brand has a lot of history here. Happiness and hope and a sense of well-being. Those are just a few of the goals of the Milwaukee North Sunrise Rotary Club. I talked to members about how they're inspiring others to take pride in their community.
Rotary's doing its best to keep things positive and to improve community.
Every day you'll see Thanner Baccaro picking up trash. He's a member of the Milwaukee North Sunrise Rotary Club. It's his way of helping solve a global crisis. Selfless acts of kindness are what the Rotarians are known for. Members sponsored the building of this bench at 55th and Center. Volunteers spent the summer digging dirt and pouring concrete. Past Rotarian President Diane Beckley Milner.
Everything that we do to make a mark or make a difference in the community always restores my faith in the future.
Baccaro is the brainchild behind building this bench.
You know, the values of Rotary are really important. You get to put service before self and act upon some important values, which Rotary represents.
1, 2, 3.
This seat is a sign of compassion for the elderly, the sick, the disabled, and the tired. Located near a bus stop, it's even more important when you consider that last year, the Milwaukee County Transit System reported almost 51,000 boardings where people used mobility devices. And now, a place making it easier for everyone who might need a rest.
Well, Rotary is all about sustainability and helping in ways that we can to make things better for the community.
Volunteers reminding us all the power of positive action to strengthen community pride.
The whole club has vision, it really does. It's a team effort, you know, and we're looking for folks who are interested in a little bit more of that and want to join the team.
You're instilling those seeds of service within that younger generation, so it makes a difference.
The group has also put out signs warning drivers to slow down because of all the reckless drivers. Hopefully that bench is going to make it easier for people to rest and connect. A lot of great people took part in that project. Wisconsin might have you thinking of cheese and cows, but a Delafield teen says you should pay attention to horses. Lance Allen explains.
Richie Dallin is one of the most accomplished teens in southeast Wisconsin.
A world champions, 13 under.
In a sport that gets even less coverage.
Everyone knows horse racing, everyone knows show jumping, dressage. It's a lot like dressage, but not quite the same. So we do patterns like them. We'll try to get the horse to do different things that they wouldn't normally do. But we'll also have a part where we'll just show off our horse the best we can. We'll walk them, trot them, canter them around, making them look as nice as they possibly can.
Richie Dallin making the winning ride.
It's family that got him in.
My sister, who is 2 years older than me, started doing this, and I was dragged along to watch her every week. So I kind of got bored of that. I'm like, I want to do this myself. So my mom told me, once you're 7 years old, you can start group lessons here, a bunch of other kids. So that's when I started. It took me about 2 years before I won something really big. So I would get down on myself. I'd think, oh, maybe this isn't for me. I'm not able to compete with some of these other kids. Because with some of those big shows, you have the riders from Kentucky, and Kentucky is a huge, huge horse area.
And only now does he feel he's becoming part of the family in the sport, fighting through bias.
Come across judges that just don't like you, and that does give you motivation. So it makes you want to push even harder to show them, yes, I can do this. I am just as good as the rest of them. So yeah, that actually probably motivated me, being the only boy out there.
Whoa, whoa. Clearly, it's all about chemistry between rider and horse.
You have to get to know them. Because all of them have their special little quirks that they'll eventually show you. And once you just develop that special relationship with them, it's really, really cool.
And with his skill level, there are big goals with a bright future. There is something in your sport called the Triple Crown. Is that like a tangible goal, or is that something that, hey, that would be cool to try to achieve that?
I would really, really love to do that, but I only have a limited amount of years. You can only do it when you're under 17 years old. As soon as you become 18, you have to compete as an adult. So yeah, that's my dream.
And I'm sure we're going to see Richie on an even bigger stage as an adult. He's definitely the type of guy to defy the odds and blaze a trail. Coming up after the break, more than 300 cats. Why they are all in one house and why that's a good thing. I'll have that answer. And a Brookfield man is hoping to open new doors for people with something to say. Welcome back to Positively Milwaukee. Barbershops have long been a sanctuary in Milwaukee. Taylor Lumpkin explains how barbers in Milwaukee aren't just changing appearances, they're saving lives.
My father was a barber, so I grew up in the barber shop.
James Flippin has been cutting hair for more than 20 years. And in those 2 decades, James has created strong bonds with clients who sat in his chair and turned to him for help during some of their darkest times.
I listened to him a lot, and it was my life. I called my doing some things, personal. And he didn't know how to talk to her, he didn't know how to talk to anybody else. And he called me and said, "Now, thank you, because I really want to hurt myself and her."
Stories like the one James shared are the reason why advocates with the Confess Project of America are touring the country, providing barbers and stylists with the tools they need to identify, listen, and help their clients, primarily Black men, dealing with mental health issues.
Men carry a weight, like you alluded to, unlike any other.
Through positive communication, through active listening, through validation, and reducing stigma, that goes a long way for our community to prosper.
Experts say the relationship between a barber and their client is often viewed as sacred.
I'm sure I have clients that have shared things with me that their own family don't know about them.
Which creates the perfect opportunity for barbers to provide a safe space and serve as a reminder to others that it's okay not to be okay.
A lot of Black men don't like to talk. They like to keep things sealed up. You have to learn how to just say, okay, I hear you, I understand. You're okay. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to be hurt.
And isn't it wonderful to see people going out of their way to help others? If you're struggling with suicidal thoughts, you can dial the Crisis Lifeline at 988. Taking care of an animal in need can also make you feel a lot better. One couple in Glendale has made it their calling. James Groh explains why they're not just zany cat people.
She's purring up a storm.
Well, we're always one cat away from being the crazy cat ladies, I guess.
Cindy and Chuck Meyer from Glendale are definitely cat people. They have cat decorations all around the house, and of course, a few cats wandering through the home.
Tinker! Where's Tinker? What are you eating?
but they take their love for cats to the next level.
If you domesticate something, you have a responsibility for it. And if we don't do it, who is?
So they foster cats.
I just love it.
Not just one or two, but more than 300 in the past 12 years. Tinker is number 306.
She wants to go back in her spot.
They do it to help relieve the pressure of overcrowded shelters, help cats socialize, and help cats taken off the street get healthy.
I like taking care of animals that are a challenge, they're sick.
They're giving our cute furry friends a cozy place to stay before finding their forever home. But on 2 occasions, they've actually foster failed. Rather than getting them adopted out, they've decided to keep their foster pets. One is Belle.
Kind of getting a little crabby in her old age. She's 17.
The other is Connie, who absolutely loves rubbing up against my camera.
We found that cats are just, they're unique, different personalities, each and every one.
But is it really fair to call them crazy cat people?
It's 306 animals that aren't out there, outside, being in danger, being astray.
I'm not sure how you could ever call that crazy. For Positively Milwaukee, I'm James Groh.
And fostering a cat is a wonderful way to support your local animal shelter and get love from those cute little furry things. We do have a link at tmj4.com if you'd like more info on how to do that. Well, we're all probably familiar with radio, but many think podcasting is the way of the future. Andrea Albert spoke to a man in Brookfield who's training people to create their own shows.
Through this door inside the town of Brookfield is a hidden town, and Elsie Flinard is its mayor.
My mom calls me one day and she says, "Elsie, I'm so excited for you. If I lived in Wisconsin, I would vote for you." It's like, "What are you talking?" I was like, no, Mom. No, it's for marketing. I'm not really running for mayor.
But he is someone who builds communities, and the foundation is stacked on sound waves.
Like, I could sit for days and hours and listen to Stevie Wonder.
Carole Brown is the host of the Fresh Coast Jazz Backstage podcast.
I never envisioned myself, doing this. And that's what's going on.
But now, about 60 episodes in, he hopes it's just the start of a major crescendo.
Our goal with Fresh Coast Jazz Backstage podcast would be to get it, one, as in-flight entertainment on a major airline, and then get it syndicated onto other jazz radio shows throughout the country or throughout the world. Elsie really kind of helped me shape, the podcast in its beginning phases, and we kind of took it from there.
I'm looking forward to it.
Elsie knew the path Carole should take because he'd walked it before.
I started a podcast in 2016, and I invited brilliant business people on the show, and I would ask them the questions that I wanted to know in order to grow and build my business. And fast forward, here we are. So I think the plan worked.
Elsie's latest addition is Podcast Town Academy, a training program for anyone who wants to launch a podcast.
So even if it's on underwater basket weaving, there's got to be 1,000 people in the world that love underwater basket weaving. And as long as you're building that community, bringing people together and adding value to them, you can be successful in podcasting.
Not speaking to be understood, but listening to understand. Elsie believes that can have a positive ripple effect, not just here in Podcast Town, but in your actual neighborhood.
One of the things that podcasting teaches, ironically, is how to listen. As opposed to being the one that's always talking.
And podcasts really are a great way to get a dialogue going. We do have a link on our TMJ4 website if you're interested in signing up for classes. Coming up just ahead, the dancing grannies are hitting the streets doing what they do best. We're going to tell you about a special occasion that's getting the whole community moving. But first, let's meet our Positively Milwaukee Pet of the Week. Check out Molly. She is 4 years old, a gray and white short-haired cat. Now, unfortunately, she arrived at the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha County after her owner needed to move into a health care facility. She's a little scared to meet new people and needs a little time to warm up, but Once you have Molly's trust, she can be quite the chatterbox, we're told. So if you are interested in adopting Molly or any other pet at the Hawes Shelter, reach out to hawespet.org or call 262-542-8851. Every pet there is positively Milwaukee. Welcome back to Positively Milwaukee. It's been almost a year since the tragedy at the Waukesha Christmas Parade, and we've seen how strong the community can be. Katie Crowther talked to a dancing granny about an amazing milestone and how she celebrated.
You do not typically find the dancing grannies doing parking lot performances on weekday mornings. But this show is special. It's Betty Strang's way of thanking the medical team who got her back to this. They cheered proudly for her. Betty suffered a skull fracture and brain bleed in the Waukesha Christmas Parade attack.
That was amazing too.
Dr. Christopher Sarkis performed emergency brain surgery that saved her life.
The fact that I'm here walking and talking, dancing, just proves he does a good job.
It's amazing to see her today and you know, doing what she does best.
He was on call that night at Aurora Medical Center Summit in Oconomowoc.
You are beautiful. Oh, thank you.
Members of the intensive care trauma team there also came to see Betty dance at Aurora St. Luke's, where she's gone through months of physical therapy and rehabilitation.
So proud of you. Look at you. That's amazing.
These hugs are a long time coming. So are the tears.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. It's all tears of joy. I mean, the fact that first people wanted us to come, and of course to honor all my healthcare providers, that my grannies took off of work.
We love you. They have been through a lot and remain there for each other to fix makeup, wipe tears.
Do I hold the Kleenexes for Betty?
And cheer each other on. It's part of their bigger purpose, to honor the teammates who did not make it, the friends they lost in the parade.
They died doing what they love. How can we not keep on dancing for them? They would want us to be here.
So they dance with all their heart.
1, 2, 3.
Granny Strong!
And the dancing grannies really are such an inspiration. You can expect to see them again at this year's Waukesha Christmas Parade, which we will broadcast right here live on TMJ4. Well, Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and it's true, the turkey takes center stage, but there are so many other traditions for the holiday, so we wanted to know, what is your favorite Thanksgiving Day side?
My grandmother's red Jell-O. It's a combination of two Jell-Os that gets frothed together, and my cousins and I literally fight over the Jell-O.
Probably cheesy mashed potatoes.
I love mashed potatoes with like cheese specifically in it. It's really good.
Corn, definitely corn. Okay.
I'd have to say mashed potatoes.
What do you like about mashed potatoes?
They're just good. You can't go wrong with them.
How about you, baby? What's your favorite?
Sweet potato.
My favorite would probably be like green bean casserole.
The green bean with almond casserole. Yeah.
Cranberry.
Cranberry too is good,
Okay.
yeah. And stuffing, of course.
Green beans, of course. Brussels sprouts.
Oh,
Probably stuffing.
Probably the stuffing.
Stuffing.
Good sage stuffing.
Good sage stuffing.
Mashed potatoes, gravy, cranberry relish.
I said boiled onions.
Yeah, that's
Boiled
a season-
onions.
That's a family thing.
That's a family tradition.
Well, I usually bring the appetizer, the cheese and sausage plate with pickles and olives and condiments, so I have to go with that.
Well, my grandmother's cranberry orange relish, grate it up, put it on everything, including peanut butter and jelly sandwiches after.
Well, I admit I happen to love roasted Brussels sprouts, and it's fun to hear about your family traditions. So if you'd like to share your favorite Thanksgiving food, just go to our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group. We'd love to hear from you. Well, we still need to get through Thanksgiving, but plenty are already excited for Christmas. My First Reason to Smile will get you in the holiday spirit and support a worthy cause. The Christmas Fantasy House is back in Milwaukee. It supports the Ronald McDonald House. The home moved to a 25,000 square foot mansion. Every room was decorated with holiday lights and decor. Visitors were able to pick up some gifts as well at the Holiday Boutique and Sweet Shop, and they could even bid in a silent auction. Now, it's still not too late to donate to the Ronald McDonald House. We have a link for you on our website. Well, if you enjoyed the Beyond Van Gogh at the Wisconsin Center last year, you're going to love this new show. It's called Beyond Monet, and it is opened up for visitors. You'll be able to see more than 400 of Monet's paintings projected onto the walls and floors, and that gives you an immersive experience. And art lovers and novices enjoy this as well. The Monet exhibit will run through early January. The Van Gogh exhibit was extended because it was so popular, and that's probably going to happen with Monet as well. We'll wait and see. Well, we've got a very good reason to smile this morning. This is video of the grizzly bear at the Milwaukee County Zoo. Now, did you know this fun fact? Grizzly bears can run 30 miles per hour. They can also live 25 years. Now, this big fluffy guy eats nuts, berries, roots, and rodents. That's not so pleasant. Well, that diet, though, can get him up to 800 pounds. And you can see this guy really loves to snack. How cute, as long as you're not too close. And just a reminder, don't miss our Positively Milwaukee Awards. Thanksgiving Day, we will be honoring the most uplifting, inspiring, and generous people in our community. These winners were all nominated by you for all the good they do in the world. So don't miss their heartwarming stories. Thanksgiving Day at 4 p.m. on TMJ4. I'll be back with my quote of the week. A generation which ignores its history has no past and no future. Our quote this week comes from Robert Heinlein, an American science fiction author. He used writing to explore social and political ideas and how scientific progress could affect our culture. Heinlein focused on racial equality, and he was famous for including people of color as main characters. That was something almost unheard of at the time. Heinlein even challenged readers' racial preconceptions by introducing strong, sympathetic characters and then revealing them to be a minority later in the story. Heinlein knew that ignoring our racist history would prevent us from moving into the future. We all need to understand our past, good and bad, and make a brighter tomorrow. So let's keep that in mind as we go about our week. And as always, stay positively Milwaukee.